higher than the increase.
No, but it's a worldwide phenomenon. Food prices are rising. In New York, right now, to have a meal for two, you need 650,000.
I think we are deviating from the key point.
Is that the cause? Is that the cause?
If I may just amplify the point that he's making, if I understand him well, is that they are trying to address the symptoms expressed by walk to work and not address the bigger governance problem, the bigger issues of rule of law.
What do you mean governance? What do you mean governance? We had an election, one man won. Why do you want him to
There's a whole question about the legitimacy of the election.
They did not go to court. Why did they not go to court?
You are a lawyer? See, the point is, the freedom, the fairness of elections cannot only be determined by the courts.
Oh, they should go to the streets.
No. I'm not saying she goes to the streets.
Waving branches.
Nobody
in front of Uganda House.
Nobody is compelled to go to court.
No, even that.
What is the rule of law? What are you defending? Is it the rule of law or something else? Let's take it. What are you defending? Is it the rule of law or something else? Define it for us.
It's the rule of law. Can I give it? Simple. That people have a right to demonstrate.
Coming back to that.
People have a right to demonstrate if they feel disgruntled. And I think that the disgruntlement we have in the country is about the issues of governance.
How do you resolve it? You have an election.
Just a minute.
One man wins.
And
then you want him to
win. Just the end of my point. Just a minute. If you have increasing constriction of the space for expression.
What do you mean space for expression? You are here today.
Before me here, the Press and Journalism Act, which in essence, if passed in its current form, the bill would make you.
But we are discussing now. The information
I'm just demonstrating.
You wanted to give
the constriction of space.
There are two things. One, of course, when you have a lawyer amidst you and saying that the best way to resolve a governance
is extrajudicial.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Using the streets.
Yes.
But also I like him.
I didn't say that.
I like him.
Yes.
By saying that what was happening in the streets actually was as a result of maybe malpractice elections, maybe out of governance, which they have been denying all the time. And I told you in this reference to these people are not demonstrating because
of prices.
And they want to remove it.
Mr. Mayanja,
you know these people come in and speak before you even have gone. But I want Mr. Bamwine to know that why we have governments in any country is to take care of its people, of course. To take care of the interest of its people.
What should the government have done in this case?
In this case, that's why governments have things they call reserves. Have you ever heard of that?
Maybe a thing.
They have reserves in the central bank. They have reserves for fuel. They have reserves for food. But do you know what we have in Uganda? The reserves for fuel were vandalized. The reserves for food are not there. I have said here before that no, Mr. Bamwine, we have been talking for 25 years and you don't want to talk for 1 hour. Can you really listen? Mr. Mayanja, listen.
It's okay. Let's hear him out.
I didn't intervene when you were talking. So listen to me.
Go on.
When we had silos in this country and we wanted to put up silos in every
food
region, food silos in this country. Those in Jinja were constructed under a loan we secured from the Italian government of $11 million. When this wave of privatization came, these silos were privatized at $4 million. And we turn around and say we do not have a policy on food security. So why is food?
Because commercial break right now. Also to cool the tempers. We'll be right back.
Thank you for coming to the executive suite, madam. My name is Richard, your executive banker, and I'm here to handle all your banking needs.
Oh, really? Thank you. I noticed you don't have any queues here.
No, Mrs. Asio, we do not.
Oh, wow. You even know my name?
But of course, madam. Today we are offering you a current account with a Gold Visa debit card, home loans with attractive rates, Gold Visa credit cards, and unsecured personal loan.
All that for me?
Yes. In addition, we can offer you internet banking so that you can access our services from anywhere, even your home.
Oh, this is too much. What else will you give me now? Chai? chai?
Experience executive banking at Stanbic Bank.
Excuse me, madam. Your cup of chai?
Ask about executive banking at your nearest branch or visit our executive banking suite in Nakasero Towers, Forest Mall at Lugogo, Garden City, Ndinda, Makerere, Mbarara, Mukono, Mbale, Lira, and Gulu.
Stanbic Bank. Moving forward.
The art of crafting a jewel as experienced by the brewmaster.
Under the exacting international standards at Nalbury's, he uses only the finest, most carefully selected grains of roasted crystal malt and sets in motion the delicate process of releasing their full roast. The result is a world-class beer with a fresher aroma, a richer golden color, and a maltier taste. It isn't every day that you find yourself with a precious jewel in your hand and the distinction of having produced it as well.
Nile Gold Crystal Malt Lager. Beyond an ordinary malt.
Hi, I've got just 30 seconds to list all the destinations in Africa served by Kenya Airways out of Nairobi. Abidjan, Accra, Addis Ababa, Bujumbura, Cairo, Cotonou, Dakar, Dar es Salaam.
He's never going to make it. Kenya Airways covers 70% of all destinations in Africa alone and several more worldwide. If you're starting from Uganda, there is no rush because Kenya Airways operates the most frequencies every day from Entebbe to the hub in Nairobi. So you can pick up any of these connections at your own convenience.
Kenya Airways, the pride of Africa.
Time's up.
Mauritius, Mombasa.
Spectrum on Radio 1 FM 90 is brought to you by Stanbic Bank.
Welcome back to Spectrum on Radio 1. Tonight on Spectrum, we're reviewing the week. Our guests, Mr. Nicholas Opiyo, Mr. Fred Bamwine from RDC, and Mr. Vincent, Deputy SG Secretary General of the Democratic Party. Let's move forward. President Museveni once again in the phrase saying Dr. Bukenya is an innocent man. Why should you be hounding him if he's an innocent man, Mr. Mayanja?
Well, I think some people have already said that we are trying to fuse all institutions of government into the executive. I think the president is out of order, and with due respect. He's not a judge. This is a court, this is a case before the courts, and I feel that his comments were really unfortunate because it is prejudicial. Secondly, why didn't he say this before this man was taken to court?
He was busy with other things, state matters of the state. Then all of a sudden it arrived on his desk.
Well, then if he was busy, then it would have been better if we kept quiet. Because this is very bad.
But he says he carried out his own private, independent investigation. And this
well, he can help. He can help the IGG. He can help the police. I think his comments are better suited for those institutions, not to the public. If he does that, then unfortunately the Constitution says that the president cannot be arraigned before any court. But I think what he said really commit him to a court of
Mr. Bamwine.
You know, Uganda is a very interesting country.
The fountain of honor is becoming
When
overloaded.
Honorable Kenya was taken to court, I would almost say his colleagues, not him in particular, but people in the Democratic Party, they are chanting him. You know, this government they are chanting for Kenya.
Yes.
Now it is the same.
Now the president says he's innocent.
Now when the president says, from what I'm seeing, this man is innocent. The same now group think,
right.
No, why should he say this? What I believe is Mayanja's one. That yes, the one to pronounce whether Kenya is innocent or not is God. Well,
Yes.
maybe we may also be preempting. We are going to be the case. But the president has an obligation.
Yes.
Whenever he was meeting the NRM caucus,
To speak about it.
yes, he has
And of course he cannot be charged like the lesser
so
motives.
he had to speak to this NRM caucus because actually they are the ones who raised it.
Right.
He said, as far as I'm concerned, I think this man is innocent.
Okay.
Now, when he says that, it doesn't take away the judge the IGG to present what he has as evidence against him, against the criminal.
Right.
Because this is the IGG, who is prosecuting the Kenyan courts of law. No, therefore, it's upon the IGG to prove or disprove what the president has said, and that will be affirmed by the decision of court.
So, Mr. Bamwine,
as far as I'm concerned, the president has an obligation to communicate to the public what he thinks.
This is the opposition that is confused. You know, in Egypt, the women came with placards telling Mubarak, "Oh, Mr. Mubarak, please go, leave this country, leave the state house, please go, Mr. Mubarak." And he went. As soon as he left, they came back with placards say, "Oh, Mr. Mubarak, come back. We were only joking." Mr. Opiyo.
Well, anyone, these are very.
Why are you behaving like those Egyptian women?
I think these are very serious matters that shouldn't be compared to women in Egypt.
That's what they say. They pushed him out and then they said, "Oh, we're only joking. Please come back, Mr. Mubarak. We love you with all our hearts."
Granted, everyone. First and foremost, the president has the right, like anybody else, to express an opinion. That right is a constitutional right. He must express himself. In the same way, he must allow others to express themselves. Secondly, the opinion of the president is no ordinary opinion, especially if you're talking about government institutions, people that he appoints to office, people that hold office at the stroke of his pen. So I do think there's two things. One, that President Museveni's remark is a very serious attempt to undermine the independence of the judiciary. For a matter before the courts of law, it was only fair enough to let the courts of law take their course, to let the courts pronounce themselves. He hasn't blocked them, but it's a fundamental influence on the thinking on this matter, especially when these statements are being made by the head of state. Secondly, you've got to look at how these events panned out. I happen to have been in court the day the VP Emeritus appeared in court. And I can tell you, my reading is this. Two things. Look at these things in order of events. Bukenya stands against Mbabazi at Nambole, in which he accuses the party of having a wife, a son, a daughter, selling food, giving paper. He lost the election. He then goes and gets accused or implicated by both the Auditor General and a committee of parliament for impropriety in the Chogam scandal. He appears before the committee and pleads the doctrine of collective responsibility. The committee disregards his opinion, goes ahead to condemn him. He's then charged in court. Bukenya gets charged in court. He hires opposition-leaning advocates to plead his case in Dan Wandera Ogalo of the FDC and Ben Watcher of UPC.
Maybe to show us what's in his heart.
Just listen. One more step. President Bukenya then goes to the Constitutional Court.
Normally you hire lawyers who think like you. Most times.
Exactly. Can I make my point and finish, please? Bukenya then goes to the Constitutional Court, in which he then begins to claim not collective responsibility, but saying I was acting on behalf of the president, and therefore he had immunity. In the same breath, he begins to ask for documents of cabinet minutes and communication between him, the president, and the committee in which that he led. He does that, and what do we see? Days later, he's being declared innocent by the president. I think these events have got to be put in context. And if she's put in context, it is one, an interference in judicial independence, and I pray that the judges look beyond these statements and make decisions on the basis of facts. Two, I think that, like the president of the US one time said, the buck stops at his desk.
Yes.
Evidently, the trial of Kenya is a trial in the court of law of the actions of the government led by President Museveni.
So again, like in the US, the buck stops at the president's desk. Now, let's move to something else. Let's talk about the energy crisis. Mr. Mayanja, we're facing an energy crisis right now. Load shedding is back. It's become an outdated term. MPs say they want forensic audit in the energy sector. They don't want to get money for the generators to use this power. Why should they block this money?
Yeah, Edmond, before I go to that, I want to clarify something that Mr. Bamwine really said. He said that we were saying that Kenya was being victimized. We didn't say that. We say that we think it should not be selective justice.
Yes, I'm saying.
So it was.
Not you.
If we say that everybody should come, even the party, even the party.
Now the same group.
No, that is different.
The same group.
The party came out.
Mr. Bamwine, like the Egyptian.
Actually, the president.
Mr. Bamwine, can you listen? The party came out with a statement. No, Mr. Bamwine,
I'm the one who said.
Okay, but I'm telling you, you are the one misleading.
Not you, but
not me. I'm saying the party.
Because I appeared with them on certain radio
energy,
stations.
Okay, anyway, we go to energy.
Let's talk about energy.
Well, it's very unfortunate
that women come, go, and so on. At this time, and in this century, we still have this problem persistent. I don't see really why we still have this problem. But but if Parliament had passed that money, we would not have that problem. We would have electricity.
Why should we really be pumping money to generate electricity when we have?
Put your money where your mouth is.
When the resources are. I remember some time when they were constructing that dam at Jinja, the second dam. Some people came up and said, you know what? You are going to make a mistake. To have two dams at the same level of the lake, you're going to have a problem. That dam, the old dam was producing about, I think,
240 installed is
240 megawatts.
Yes.
And it came
180.
It came to 180. They brought in that new dam.
Now we get less
to produce. I don't know how much, but today we get even less.
No, that's not true.
I think we get around.
We are producing 304 megawatts. And that one cannot.
These figures keep changing.
What is the capacity of that second dam?
Yeah, but it cannot be equivalent to 100.
No, what I'm saying that what we anticipated is not what we are.
But you are not.
But you know what?